I want to talk to you about what's probably the most interesting political story of my lifetime, for sure, and that's Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is a phenomenon unlike anything we've ever seen before. And as Republicans, the key to our success is Donald Trump. And make no mistake about that. So we look at what happened with Donald Trump. I was somebody that ran as a Democrat, a long time ago, and was elected as a Democrat 15 years ago. And I was referred to as a Reagan Democrat. So what did that mean? Well, back when Ronald Reagan was running for president in 1980 and 1984, there were a lot of people that were socially conservative, meaning that they were churchgoers, they believed in, they were pro-life, and they didn't like some of the things that the Democrats were doing. Yet they were all blue-collar for the most part. And they worked in factories, or they were policemen or firemen, and they were called Reagan Democrats because they crossed over for Reagan. Reagan made them feel good about America. Historically, they had been Democrats and not Republicans. Well, what happened after Ronald Reagan left office was we had both Bush presidents, and we had a very different Republican Party. They moved away from being the party of the working class, and essentially they minimized the social issues, and they became kind of the party of the country club crowd, what have you. And it lost a big voting block as a result, and they couldn't win elections. Then along came Donald Trump. And Donald Trump was socially and is socially as conservative as any president in history on the issues that matter to people of faith. And Donald Trump is somebody that is more reflective of what they identify as a Reagan Democrat than Ronald Reagan was. Ronald Reagan, remember, trickled down. It didn't always work that well for all of us, what have you. And even under Ronald Reagan, jobs left America and they went overseas and they never came back. But much more so under the Bushes. So now we have a president who gets into office, and before he even gets into office, he's talking about China and how they're ripping us off. How many times do we hear Donald Trump say China is ripping us off and others are ripping us off in trade? And we need to bring that manufacturing back home. We need to start making it in America again. And as a result of what Donald Trump was saying, the rallies were filled. And they were working class people. Cops, firemen, factory workers, sanitation workers, blue-collar Americans, the backbone of this country. Those are the people that filled up the rallies. And those were the people that had the energy for Donald Trump. And so Donald Trump wins with what was historically known as the Reagan Democrats that we didn't have for all those years. And that's the people in the Rust Belt, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Missouri, all those states right around there went for Donald Trump, and they had not gone Republican in a long time. Didn't happen in Illinois. And I fault the Republican leadership in Illinois for that. We had Bruce Rauner, who was a social liberal. We had Mark Kirk, who was a social liberal. They had nothing to offer the middle class. And they ran from Donald Trump. Well, I'm running with Donald Trump. And even though I was once critical of him because of his rhetoric and what have you, I could tell you with 100% honesty, there has not been a president in my lifetime that I'm more proud of in terms of the positions and the stances that he takes and what he's done in terms of leading America. So when you're out there in this campaign season, talk to those people and make sure they understand. We don't have 100% of police officers yet, and we should. He's the most popular law enforcement president ever. We don't have every city worker. We don't have every factory worker. We don't have all the guys that are out in construction, yet we should. We don't have all the middle class and the small business owners, but we should, because he's the guy that represents them. I think that they've had enough of the party that is most concerned with men getting to use the women's bathroom, that is most concerned with keeping the borders wide open for all kinds of potential terrorist activity, the party that is most concerned with Hollywood and their agenda and making sure that it's completely unfettered, the party that is most concerned with infanticide. not just abortion anymore. So these people, they don't want to be in that party. People are going to vote their pocketbook. They're going to vote what economically makes sense. Donald Trump does it. We should be so excited in Illinois to run with Donald Trump. I'll tell you something, I am, and that's the God's honest truth. Let's get Donald Trump going in Illinois. Let's sell him to Illinois because he has done a wonderful job. He deserves it. He has stood for us, and we need to make sure he gets reelected.